Hello guys, welcome to GYAN IAS. In our channel, we'll be covering entire UPSC and other competitive exam syllabus along with daily current affairs and separate videos on daily mock test. Before we proceed with the video, do hit like and subscribe button which will encourage us to upload new videos on daily basis which covers the entire syllabus.
Hello friends, welcome to GYAN IAS History, Freedom Struggle, 4th lecture. In the first lecture, we discussed about the unique aspects of Indian freedom struggle. In the second lecture, we discussed about the reasons for the formation of Indian National Congress and the origin of our freedom struggle. In the third lecture, we discussed in detail whether Indian National Congress acted as a safety valve to the British rule or no. We saw what is the carrot and stick approach of the Britishers towards the Indian National Congress. Today, in this lecture, we will discuss about the age of moderates. This is between the period 1885 to 1905. As you know, there are three important periods in our Indian freedom struggle. The first phase is age of moderates. The second phase is age of extremists, which is from 1905 to 1915, and the third phase is the Gandhian phase, the Gandhian era, from 1915 until Indian independence. So we will deal each phase in detail. Now, in the first phase, the age of moderates, we will see who were the leaders and if they had any important journals, what was their important journals. So in this period, usually the leaders, they had a double-pronged methodology in which there are leaders, they have their journals, they collect public opinion, publish it in their journals, and again collect. So like journal, public, this cycle was going on. So we talk about Dada Bhai Nauroji was one leader. His important journal was Voice of India. Then you have Feroz Shah Mehta. His journal was Bombay Chronicle. Then Surendranath Banerjee. His journal was Bengalis. G.K. Gokhale. He had a journal, Sudhar, or in some books they have given as Sudhar Rak. It is in this journal, G.K. Gokhale explains in detail the ideology of the moderates. Then you have other leaders like W.C. Banerjee, Justice M.G. Ranade, all these leaders were there. Now, let us see what was the important objectives of the moderates during their period. So, the objectives. The first important objective of the moderates was for achieving dominion status. The second important objective was to get political freedom, that is, they wanted more representation of Indians in the Viceroy's Council. They wanted Indians the right to talk, the right to ask questions, the right to participate in debate, the right to vote in the assemblies, etc. Then spread of English education, the modern education, spreading of industries. Most importantly, they wanted to bring reforms in the civil service exams. What were the reforms they wanted? They wanted increase in the age limit. So this age was reduced from 21 to 19 years by Lytton. Then the venue of the exam was London. So they wanted the venue to be simultaneously London as well as India. Greek and Latin were compulsory subject papers. They wanted this Greek and Latin to be removed. So these were their important objectives. Now let us see what was their ideology, did they achieve these objectives, what are their achievements, and what is their criticism. So as I've already told you, the ideology of the moderates was very well explained by G.K. Gokhale in his journal Sudarak. So the first point is about democracy. Here he is saying that India would have been ruled by anybody. So in our better interest, in the better interest of India, the mother of parliamentary democracy is ruling us. And they believed the British will introduce democratic institutions in the country. That was their one ideology. Second, they believed in evolutionary change. That is, according to the moderates, if any change has to last, it should be a slow change. If there's a quick change, it is going to fall immediately. So they believed the slow and an evolutionary change and not immediate change. Third, they believed in cooperation with the British and they did not believe in confrontation. Fourth, according to the moderates, the development of British was also the development of India because British was ruling India and India was under them. The fifth important objective is they followed constitutional means of struggle. So here there is a statement they followed constitutional means of struggle, that is anything and everything except passive resistance. Now, what does this mean? So, what is the difference between constitutional means of struggle, passive resistance, and active resistance? So, there are three important aspects which comes here. So, the moderates followed constitutional means of struggle, whereas extremists followed passive resistance. Mahatma Gandhi also followed passive resistance, whereas revolutionaries like Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Sukhdev, they followed active resistance. So, for example, to explain this and to put this in simple terms, say the government puts a law saying that you should not protest in front of UPSC. Just take it as an example. If UPSC has changed the syllabus and somebody is protesting against UPSC, it should not protest in front of UPSC. The moderates will not protest in front of UPSC. They may go elsewhere, somewhere else, sit and do a peaceful protest. That is constitutional means of struggle following the rule. Definitely, we are in a democratic country. We have our rights, but we have to follow the rules of the government. Don't take me otherwise. I'm just putting this as an example. But what do the extremists do? They will definitely go against the rule. They will go in front of UPSC only. They will sit there only and they will protest. It will be a peaceful protest. What will happen? The police will come, they will do lathi charge, they will put tear gas shells. Still, you would not move an inch from there. You want to hit, you hit me, I will not move. That is passive resistance. But in the same scenario, if there was Britishers on the other side and people protesting against the government would be our Bhagat Singh, great Sukhdev, Rajguru, all these greats were sitting there. Definitely they would not keep quiet if the British does lathi charge. They will hit back. So that becomes active resistance. So this is the difference between passive resistance, constitutional means of struggle, and active resistance. The moderates followed constitutional means of struggle. The sixth important, very important ideology of the moderates is, we call it as, in short form, PPP, where one P stands for petition, other P stands for petition, prayer, and protest. This PPP policy was also very, very unsuccessful. It means first you give a petition about your demands to the Britishers, then you be involved in your budgets and your prayers, hoping that the Britishers will accept your demands. If they do not, you protest. So how do you protest? You are definitely doing constitutional means of struggle. So you would not go and attend the viceroy's meetings or not attend the assemblies, etc., which did not have any impact on the Britishers. Hence, this, in fact, it failed miserably when they could not stop Lord Curzon from partitioning Bengal in the year 1905. So this was their ideology. Now, what was the achievements of the moderates? So, in their achievement, first important achievement, see, most importantly, the credit for the formation of Indian National Congress should go to the moderates. They formed it and they held it together in the beginning. We have discussed this in our previous lecture in detail. Second important achievement is, see, as long as Indian National Congress remained under the moderates, it remained very secular in nature. They did not give any place for communal elements to come in. Only after the age of extremists came some communal tinge was put into the Congress. Third, importantly, we can see is regarding the political aspects where they were very, very instrumental in the British passing the Indian Councils Act in 1892. In this Indian Councils Act, the Viceroy's Council was expanded, more Indians were included, Indians were given the right to ask questions and right to participate in debate. But point to note, Indians were not given the right to ask supplementary questions and Indians were not given the right to vote. Fourth, another important achievement is bringing the reforms in civil services. It is because of the moderates, the British in the year 1886 appointed Lord Aitchison Committee. This Lord Aitchison Committee was for civil service reforms, and due to this committee recommendation, they increased the age from 19 to 23 years. But point to note, it did not conduct simultaneous exams in London and India. They did not remove Greek and Latin subjects. And now the most important achievement of the moderates is the economic criticism of the moderates. So this is what wrote in his book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India, where he explains the economic drain of wealth theory. So where he says that, see, the Britishers made roads and railways. From where did they get money for them? They definitely did not get money from British and English here. They taxed our agriculturists more. They taxed our industries. In the money they generated from here, they made roads and railways. To benefit whom? Not to benefit us. It is to benefit the British. How? Using these railways, they transported our agricultural raw materials directly to the port. From the ports, it went to British, and that fueled our raw materials, fueled the industrial revolution in the British. From there, the factory made cotton cloths, factory made textile, came to Indian ports and using the roads, it directly entered the market. So, here what is happening? Agriculture is being taxed. We are experiencing famine because our agricultural raw materials are being taken away and our handloom industries is getting. Hence, that is the economic drain of wealth theory explained by Dadabhai Naoroji. A very great thinker, his name is Purcell Halsworth. Purcell Halsworth says that the Indian agriculturist is not a runaway from the village. He did not run away from the village. He was forced to go from village and work in the industry. Why? Because he was taxed. By working in the industry, he was pushed from misery to greater misery. He says already he was in misery. He was pushed to greater misery because he had to work for more than 12 to 14 hours. minimum wages not being given, etc. Now, another person called R.C. Dutt also wrote a book called Economic History of India, where he tries to calculate how much national income was being lost because of this economic drain of wealth. So, economic criticism was one of their greatest achievements. Now, let us look at the disadvantages of the moderate, or the criticism of the moderate. So, in their criticism, first criticism we can say that the moderates did not believe in the strength which the masses had. So it was mainly an elitist party, only the uppermost layer were involved. Second criticism we can say is, although they were very, very good in their economic critique of the British, still Dadabhai Naoroji uses this word un-British. Poverty and un-British rule in India was his book. So he is trying to say, if you take this word un, he is saying British is good, but they are being un-British in India. So kindly be British. So they still had confidence on the Britishers. Third, the Indian Councils Act of 1892, which was passed. Here, although more Indians were included in the council, Indians are given the right to participate in debate, right to ask questions, right to vote was not given. According to the extremists, this was the biggest failure of the moderates. The most important failure in the criticism of the moderates is the moderates' policy of PPP miserably failed, and they could not stop Lord Curzon from partitioning Bengal in the year 1905. Hence, the partition of Bengal in October 1905 led to the rise of extremists. That also led to the beginning of the Swadeshi movement and Vande Mataram movement. Here begins the extremist phase of our Indian freedom struggle. Friends, today we have seen in detail about the age of moderates. In our next lecture, we will completely deal with the age of extremists. We are going to cover the partition of Bengal and up to 1915, the entry of Mahatma Gandhi into the country. Thank you very much.
Hope you found this video useful. For more videos like this, stay subscribed to our channel. Thank you.